Hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it, share it, hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it. This is a vlog about being more transparent, about sharing a little more openly, and the trouble a lot of people who don't share very much, a lot of people who live a more private presence existence, run into when they need to share. So let's say you're in a presentation or an important meeting or a project pitch, interview, shortlist, presentation, any of those scenarios where the moment's particularly important. Sharing of yourself is part of the game. It's part of the responsibility. It's what the audience needs to see to connect with you and understand you. And that makes private people feel more vulnerable. What I want to recommend we consider sharing a little more. Sharing a little more openly, getting used to in more circumstances, opening up. Imagine the simple practice that, well, in this meeting, I'm going to share something about myself. Imagine in this negotiation, I'm going to ask some questions about someone, see how they're doing on the other side of the negotiation, and I'm going to tell them something about me. Imagine if the practice were, sometimes I'm going to tell people how I'm feeling right now. And different versions of that feeling. Yeah, I just wanted to stop and recognize, hey, I'm really having fun in this. I'm really feeling good. Or, I want to point out this is stressing me. I'm actually feeling a little threatened in this process. Now, use your mind to decide when you want to share what your feelings are. But private people tend to avoid doing that. They tend to keep it to themselves. I've talked to people who are more private, me being more transparent, and they'll say, well, I don't know if they're interested, or maybe this isn't relevant. You know what? You are there and you're human, and your humanity makes it relevant. And your ability to focus and be productive and to click with people and collaborate, it ties to you as a human being. So the human being is part of the equation. Hey, share it. And I'm not saying what's better or worse, but I do want to point out the specific problem again. The people who are more private, who aren't as comfortable because they don't practice sharing as much, suddenly find themselves thrown off by having to share. The question that they weren't expecting comes up, and suddenly they're thrown off base. That's partially because they're not used to having their vulnerability exposed, and they feel exposed. Well, then you take people like me who are, my problem is I'm over transparent. I overshare. But what comes with the package of this is I'm practiced at sharing in different situations, and I'm used to it. So it doesn't throw me when suddenly I get a question that might be incriminating or throw me off base. I'm kind of used to that. So sharing my awkwardness, sharing that experience, giving the answer I have is not threatening to me because I'm used to sharing. So I would like to suggest for the private people out there, just try sharing a little more. Notch it up just one click of how much you're willing to share about how you're feeling, the thoughts on your mind, and practice in safer places so that you get more used to sharing. And you will not be as thrown when you get the tough question, when something didn't go quite right, and you're used to sharing your thoughts and feelings and letting people know where you're at. Because where you're at itself will be better if you become more comfortable sharing.